tools of judiciary, also powers of judiciary, also mechanism available with judiciary are almost similar things. Similar things, related things, because they are tools when we say the process through which it takes place. And mechanism is the structure under which it is governed. And power is in these matters judiciary can intervene. So this is all about how judiciary work. So judiciary work through various contexts of power. For this purpose, we first have to understand the structural side of Indian judiciary. Judiciary in different country has different forms, different structures. But as I said, in case of control over administration, accountability control unit, we have a special reference to India, or by taking Indian system, we understand accountability control mechanism. So in this case also, we will be studying the structural context of judiciary. So Indian judiciary is a structure. First of all, first thing we must know the structure of Indian courts. So if I draw a triangle like this, here it will come district and subordinate courts. Districts and subordinate courts. This is the level of subordinate judiciary, it's a level of subordinate judiciary. This is the level of high courts. We have 29 high courts in the country, and this is the highest court. This is the highest court is called Supreme Court. Okay. So you know well about Supreme Court of India. So many things about Supreme Court of India. I am just adding few things here. First of all, Supreme Court, as per our constitution, it came into existence when our constitution got its implementation, like from 26th of January 1950, Supreme Court became operational for independent India. So Supreme Court, when created, the number of judges, 1 Chief Justice and 7 judges. That number was increased to 8, then to 14, 18, and presently the 1 Chief Justice and 33 other judges of Supreme Court. And Supreme Court is perhaps the Supreme Court is the highest court in this integrated format. Then comes high courts. High courts may exist for one state. It may exist for one state and union territory. It may exist for 2 or more states also. Clear? There are 29 high courts in the country. And then below high courts, there are district courts and subordinate courts. So district courts or subordinate courts, if you talk about district courts, There can be civil court, there can be criminal courts. At the district level, the criminal courts judge is called session judge. District and session judge. So session judge. Here he can be district judge. Its name can be district judge. There its name can be civil judge also. Nomenclature in different states may vary, because this district and subordinate courts are created, are appointed or managed by state governments. So for civil purposes there can be nomenclature civil district judge or civil judge. Criminal courts, the district judge is called session judge. Okay. And earlier there was use of term the district magistrate also. There was a district judicial magistrate. Below district court there can be subdivisional court, taluka court, and village nyay parishads or panchayats. A subdivisional court, there can be subdivisional judicial magistrate, there can be munsif judge. So there are class 1 magistrate, class 2 magistrate, class 3 magistrates. For different states placing and nomenclature vary, but in sum total there is Supreme Court at the topmost level, High Court second level, third is district and subordinate court. District and subordinate can also be classified, can be grouped. So district is a civil and criminal for two different matters. There can be two different types of courts, where in first there can be district judge or civil judge sit, in other case session judge or magistrate, term magistrate is used, he sit. Then subdivisional court, there can be subdivisional judicial magistrate or munsif judge. So munsif judge can be for civil purposes. There can be taluka courts also. So taluka courts are again there are class 3 magistrates can sit at taluka court. And in India we have lots of villages where the nyay panchayat exists, family court exists, local courts exist. These courts does not generally enjoy criminal power. Criminal power is more or less come to subdivisional level, and higher order power means power to sentence 7 years or more, 5 years or more, generally in most of the states, come to the district and session judge. Okay. And the death penalty etc., that definitely session judge can give. Below that, subdivisional judicial magistrate does not have power to try cases where death penalty is given. Okay, this is the structure. This structure is integrated. How it is integrated? So first, there are two ways this integration is done. How this court system is integrated. I am taking this diagram here. Two-way integration is done. This integration is top-down integration. The verdict or the order of the higher courts can be used as precedents by the subordinate courts. Okay, so orders, verdicts binding at lower courts. The Supreme Court's orders are binding at high courts and district or subordinate courts, and high courts orders are binding in other high courts maybe, but definitely on district and subordinate courts. So orders and verdicts are binding at the lower courts. A top-down integration. This top-down integration. And there is bottom-up integration this way. Bottom-up. Appeal from each subordinate court to respective higher levels. Means if I divide this subdivision, taluka, etc. So from subdivision appeal will lie in district, from district appeal will lie in high court, from high court appeal will lie in Supreme Court. So lower courts give a judgment, it can be appealed in next higher court, then from that to next higher court, then ultimately to Supreme Court. So it is integrated. Okay. Article 137, Article 145 of the Constitution. If you refer, I'll discuss in paper 2. So that lead towards integration of the court system in the country. Okay. So in India we have integrated mechanism, integrated structure of the courts, and hierarchy of power is available. But we need to classify that power. How judiciary act? Judiciary act based on the power available to them. So let's talk about the power available to Supreme Court. That will make us clear the power of the judiciary, because Supreme Court has all the powers. High Court has less power than Supreme Court. Area of power becomes less. District and subordinate courts again has less power than high courts. So all power which enjoyed by subordinate court is enjoyed by Supreme Court also. All power enjoyed by subordinate courts enjoyed by high courts also. And all power enjoyed by high court is enjoyed by Supreme Court also. If we study the power of Supreme Court, then no power of the court will skip. So powers of the court, especially Indian court system, can be classified into various groups. And this powers of the court, when I use the term powers of the courts, it can be classified as jurisdictions. Jurisdictions. So these jurisdictions are, if we talk about Supreme Courts jurisdictions. If I say this, so it can be classified as number 1, the original jurisdiction, Then comes appellate jurisdiction. Then comes advisory jurisdiction. And then comes writ jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction means power of a court where a case can originate. First hearing done. Session courts are having original jurisdiction in matters of a case covering death penalty, death sentence. High courts have original jurisdiction in matters of various laws, special laws, where direct case should come to high court, like company law of India provides for certain cases to be originating in high courts. As far as Supreme Court is concerned, the original jurisdiction is related to disputes between disputes between union, state or states. So union as one party, state another state as one party. Union as one party, so many states, two or more states as other party. And it can be union and one state and other states as party. So union and states, number one. Union plus states versus state/states.